We are today going to make some squash puree. Now, zucchini particularly, if you read Natasha Campbell McBride wrote a wonderful book about the GAPS diet, gut and psychology syndrome, and it's all about people who have a lot of health issues in the stomach and such. And one of her favorite vegetables actually is zucchini. She calls it courgette, which is an English word, I guess, but it's very, very good for healing the gut. So if you ever are in that place, that's one of the beauties of zucchini. So you can use a lot of zucchini during the season, but now today we harvested 300 pieces of squash. And so now's when we start to get them prepared for some freezing. And these are yellow squashes here. And we treat them pretty much the same, zucchini and yellow squash. I don't know that it has a whole lot of different characteristics. And what we're going to do is just cut them into chunks and then boil them down a bit and then run them through a food processor and then put them in a quart container and use it as a slurry or whatever you want to call it, to add to soups and stews and things in the wintertime. Particular yellow squash has got some bumps on it. It's most likely it's one of our open pollinated varieties. We use a lot of open pollinated varieties of squash, everything really. And we're just cut into modest sized pieces because they're going to be boiled and they don't have to be anything tiny. So just enough to get them chopped up. Cut our squash up into little pieces, and we're going to now just boil this enough to get it kind of mushy. I don't know, 5 minutes probably, so it breaks down easily when we run it through the food processor. So the squash has been boiling for maybe 5 minutes, and it's very tender now. So I'm going to take this off and run it through the colander and not squeeze all the water out of it, but just let it drain out a bit. And then we will put it in the food processor. So I'm going to put this in the food processor. Oh, good. Nice single batch. Okay, nice puree here, beautiful, light green color here, it's very nice. And I'm going to leave this out because it's hot. I don't want to actually get into the plastic right away. I don't want to just encourage leaching. So what we will do with this when it cools off is to put it in these quart containers and then we'll put a lid on them and freeze them. And again, for anybody who's got a really upset stomach or a real issue with their digestion, this is the go-to whenever you're trying to help bring them back into a healthier place. Remember that. Zucchini, yellow squash, nice puree like this. And it also is great in a soup, any kind of chicken soup, vegetable soup. You can thicken chili with it. We use it throughout the winter as a real nice addition to our soups and stews. So here's the squash cooled down a bit, and we're going to just store it in these nice plastic containers, supposedly BPA free, but who knows. I do concern myself with plastic, but then it's one of those compromises you have to make in life, I guess. But I remember my mom used to have these waxed cardboard boxes that she froze everything back in. That was in the 60s. Really nice. But there were, you did use plastic bags inside them, but you could put things like corn in them straight, I guess. So there is some concern about plastic, but again, I'm lesser of two evils, I guess, in this situation. Looks like we're going to get almost, looks like 2.5 quarts we'll get of this nice zucchini yellow squash sauce for the freezer.